Their graphics might be 3D, but that doesn't mean everything else is anything but one-dimensional. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst 3DS games. For this list, we're taking a look at games for any iteration of Nintendo's handheld console that are bad in any way that you can conceive. Poor gameplay, glitches, low replay value, ugly graphics, and useless stories will all be playing a starring role here.
Take aim, then attack!
Number 10, WreckIt Ralph.
That's me, WreckIt Ralph. I'm a bad guy, capital B, capital G. But I'm not a bad guy. I'm gonna wreck it!
After the animated film of the same name nailed its video game references so well, you would have thought that any tie-in would be a straightforward accompaniment. Evidently, however, all the creative effort went into the film, and this ugly, generic platformer squandered the potential its source material presented, insulting fans by not even letting you play as Vanellope following the movie's attempts to subvert gender stereotypes in gaming. Remember her glitch ability? Well, the developers apparently didn't. Incredibly, the free-of-charge Flash games that came out shortly after the full title provide a similar level of polish and enjoyability, yet we were subjected to this embarrassingly short and obviously unfinished cash-in before that. Thanks a lot, Disney.
You want to go pee-pee in your big boy slacks? Keep it to yourself. It's make your mama's proud time! I love my mama!
Number 9, Adventure Time. Explore the dungeon because I don't know.
Guys, the Candy Kingdom has many enemies, and when I capture my enemies, I lock them up forever.
WayForward Technologies had released a well-received side-scroller based on Pendleton Ward's creation just a year before the release of this lifeless dungeon crawler, leaving players bemused as to why they decided on such a departure in gameplay. The show is beloved by kids and adults alike for its oddball world and characters, many of whom return in awfully designed versions of themselves.
We're like best friends.
Yeah! I'm best friends with Marceline!
There is the occasional hint of humor from Finn and Jake, but those signs of life are emphatically swamped by dark, repetitive dungeons that, without co-op, you just have to explore alone. It's even been watered down compared to its release on other systems, most notably in the lack of fully voiced dialogue, making it just another terrible TV tie-in.
Wah 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 wah.
Wah 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 wah.
Number 8, Asphalt 3D. Gameloft's Asphalt series has always been derivative of other superior street racers, and this shameless port from the mobile game does nothing to prove that it has anything to offer the genre. By ramming an excessive content down your throat, it tries to distract you from dramatic graphical slowdown and inability to deliver on the over-the-top racing action. If you sit in park, the game looks okay. But try to execute a high-speed overtake, and you'll often have another vehicle materialize in your way as the game pathetically tries to find a higher gear. As a launch title for the console, it can be afforded a little leeway, but it should have never received the green light for the 3DS in the first place. Number 7, RollerCoaster Tycoon 3D. A central part of any Roller Coaster Tycoon game is, building roller coasters, a feature that's nearly impossible in the series' 4th entry due to a woefully unresponsive touch interface. Some have even said it feels like a free trial version of a full game, lacking in the sort of depth that is expected in the most basic of management simulations. Nearly 15 years have gone by since the original came out, and yet this one is worse in nearly every conceivable way, aside from some pleasant graphical touches. Just like a poorly constructed roller coaster, those same graphics have the tendency to crash and burn, sometimes entirely breaking your game or, if you're lucky, severely hindering your ability to play. Number 6, Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal.
Amy! I gotta get Tails and the gang. Oh, Lyric, you are so gonna get the big beat down!
It may be marginally better than its sibling on the Wii U, but in true Sonic fashion, this platformer is still a cringeworthy, contrived mess of a game. The emphasis on exploration isn't abysmal at first, although the puzzles won't challenge a toddler, yet it's just not what a Sonic game should be, only gaining speed in sections that are basically ripping off Temple Run. The unbearable dialogue and incoherent story is very modern-day Sonic, however.
Hi, Amy. What's up?
Fighting for my life with the fate of the world in the balance. You know, the usual.
And any early promise is quickly extinguished as the game manufactures longevity by forcing you to repeat certain stages. Unbelievably, the game somehow got a sequel with Sonic Boom Fire and Ice 2 years later. Sega, come on, who's running the company?
Tails? What's going on?
Number 5, Tenkai Knights Brave Battle.
Eons ago, in an alternate realm, there was Quarton, a planet that had long been ravaged by a war over its Tenkai energy.
If the game you're developing somehow manages to make robot brawling excruciatingly boring, you should probably go back to the drawing board or just give up entirely. Such was the case for this kid-oriented anime tie-in that must have been deliberately aiming for a Metacritic score below 30, as a result of trying nothing creative whatsoever. The graphics run pretty smooth in each identical bout where, get this, you have to stand still in order to launch an attack. The only thing you can really give it credit for, the hefty customization options, are entirely cosmetic, as programming any gameplay variation would have meant potentially missing the boat on the series' popularity. Even for kids, the lack of endeavor here is insulting.
We are Tenkai! Tenkai! Knights of Tenkai!
Number 4, Mad Dog McCree. For some reason, this cringeworthy live-action former arcade title keeps getting ported. The 3DS version is one of 9 platforms to give the light gun shooter another lease on life, but it may also be the most pointless. The notoriously bad FMV sequences aren't even in 3D, nor have they been improved since its lifespan in the arcades 22 years prior. The controls aren't that awful, but that's being generous, and it only serves as a 15-minute slice of nostalgia for a time when we really had no clue what we were doing in video games. Perhaps we're just being a bit harsh, and this interactive western has been waiting for VR to reach its true potential, but don't count on it.
Hey, now that's good shooting, stranger.
Number 3, Power Rangers Megaforce. As you embark upon this beat-em-up adventure, you can scan your face into your favorite ranger, fulfilling dreams you might have had since you were a kid. Once the maddening gameplay begins, however, you'll instantly regret subjecting your virtual counterpart to such a torturous existence. If the lag or forced ranger swapping didn't drive you to the brink of insanity, then the broken advice and encouragement from your team definitely will do the job.
Good job. Break it.
Just need a
Break it to see what's inside. Leave it to me.
If you can turn your ears off to that din of looping sound bites, you might think you'd be rewarded with a sliver of ridiculous carnage. But no, this is Megaforce, and just like the season of the show it was based on, fun is not on the table.
Hang in there. Break it to see what's inside. You'll break it to see what's wow. Good job.
good work.
Number 2, Transformers Dark of the Moon.
It has been 3 years since we last saw the Decepticons. True to their name, Megatron and his army have evaded our best efforts to find them.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall of Behavior Interactive's design meetings when coming up with ideas for this follow-up to Revenge of the Fallen. How the decision to prevent the Transformers from transforming into full-fledged robots snuck through the net is a mystery even Mark Wahlberg won't be able to solve.
All right, Mirage. Time to put Wheeljack's upgrades to the test.
The movies are an easy target for criticism, but at least they give you the metallic havoc that you want. This one, however, bizarrely constrains Optimus Prime and company to their vehicle forms. Even as a vehicular combat title, there's little positive to report, as the sloppily executed controls make each copy and pasted mission as disorienting as one of Michael Bay's movies. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Myst. It's rather insulting how such a legendary PC title could have a port done this badly almost 2 decades later. Despite what the box art initially tells you, 3D features were absent and no touchscreen functionality has been added. Thus, even clicking on the right object is a challenge due to the cursor always auto-centering. Also, any immersion that the original possessed is destroyed in this iteration, due to the already dated still images looking even worse under the terrible compression, not to mention how easy it is for your save file to get corrupted. With the inclusion of far better versions out there, you might say the 3DS port completely missed the mark. We're great. Do you agree with our list?
You were one tough hombre to make it this far.
Which 3DS game did you rapidly return to the store? For more top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Let's dance.